without further ado, Tufts Best Buddies is very excited to welcome Josh and Kellie. So Josh was the first individual with IDD to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. So you may recognize him from the weekend's iconic performance. And also we have Kellie, who is the first global ambassador for Best Buddies from Tampa. So without further ado, I'll kick it off to you guys.
Hello guys, it is very honored to meet all of y'all today. Like Chris said, my name is Josh. I also go by the name Swagman Felder. That's my nickname. I am from Tampa, Florida, and I've been involved with Best Buddies for about 14 years now. I've joined Best Buddies through middle school, through high school, college, and now I'm a part of the Citizens Program and Jobs Program. So Best Buddies has really done a lot for me at a very young age. It's really helped me build up my self-esteem, and it's given me the confidence that not only advocate for myself, but also to advocate for everybody else in our schools and communities. So I feel like a lot of more opportunities started to open up for me when I got into the University of South Florida chapter. And when I got in that chapter back in 2015, I remember seeing some familiar faces, some people from high school. But the most fun part about the USF chapter was they had Best Buddies in general. So I remember I was just there, just a regular buddy. I didn't have no position or nothing, and that's when I met Kellie Howard, Kellie Boo. So I remember my whole my whole first year, she was showing me some, well, I would say maybe opportunities. She was showing me like teaching me some new positions they got throughout Best Buddies, not just for USF, but um, some leagues and through Best Buddies International, like how you can become like an ambassador or how you can become a member of the Young Leaders Council, which me and Kellie were also involved in. What YLC is a group of leaders that help out with staff unpaid. You can be someone with or without a disability in YLC, and what we pretty much do is help out with staff with leadership conference events. Like the main events we mostly help out with is the opening and closing ceremony. So I feel like through Best Buddies USF, I feel like Kellie was kind of like my right hand girl, and it's really done a lot for me since. And a lot of staff has really seen that I've done a lot throughout my process with my social skills and my confidence. And I remember I feel like a lot changed this year. Well, actually, in December of last year, me and Kellie were at a Best Buddy Citizens event at a hotel, and we were just chatting and and we're happy to see each other because it's been a while because we was mostly doing virtual events due to COVID. So I remember we was about to leave. I remember our deputy director for Best Buddies Tampa was introducing me to a group of men who I thought were just regular business people who were sponsoring Best Buddies just cause. But I didn't realize that they were actually they had their own radio show, but they also worked for the Super Bowl as well. So I remember we was introducing each other and exchanging business cards. One of them asked me if I knew how to dance. I responded with the answer yes, and that's when one of them gave me an opportunity to try out for the Super Bowl halftime show. So after accepting that opportunity, that's when they gave me an email to how to sign up, how to make my own bio, and how to make my own dance video. I just pretty much sent the director of the Super Bowl halftime show my one of my TikTok videos. So I had my fingers crossed, hoping I would hopefully respond. So I waited about 2 weeks after I made my whole bio and video. So I remember I was getting like a call. I thought it was a spam number at first because it had no name or anything like that. And then I got a voicemail on my phone. It was a director from the Super Bowl halftime. So I quickly called back and made sure they were answering back. Luckily they answered, and she mentioned to me that she saw my video and she saw my whole bio, and she said she really enjoyed it, and that's how I pretty much earned my spot on the Super Bowl halftime show. So after that was well planned, I had to do rehearsal for 2 weeks for about 8 hours straight. So I had to be off of social media for about 2 weeks, and as well as keeping this whole Super Bowl thing a huge secret. I mean, they weren't really concerned with telling us. They weren't really that concerned about us telling people in person, since some people can keep secrets. They were mostly concerned about us posting about it on social media. Because if we would have posted about the Super Bowl the day before, the Super Bowl on social media, would have if we would have missed rehearsal days or never took your COVID test before coming to rehearsal, then we would have been out immediately. No second chances or anything. Everything that we had to do was definitely mandatory. So I actually didn't start posting my pictures and videos until like after the Super Bowl halftime show, the night of. So I know I posted my pictures and I posted my caption. I believe I've been the first person with a disability to ever perform the Super Bowl halftime show. So after I did all my pictures, I put the caption down and everything. That's when I feel like a lot was happening. Like my whole phone just started to blow up. A lot of shares, a lot of reposts, everything. Like, I feel like that was the night. Like, oh wow, I feel like I really did make history because I honestly didn't know I was the first person with a disability to ever perform the Super Bowl. I would have assumed there's been other people like before me that's been in the Super Bowl with that's had a disability and just performed and just dance in general. A lot of stuff didn't really start happening, didn't start blowing up until like the next day after the Super Bowl. I have friends sending me screenshots that the weekend actually reposted my story. That's how I got a lot of I was pretty much all over the network, a lot of platforms. I was even on TV twice for my performance. I was on Bay News 9 Tampa Bay, CBS Good Morning, and I feel like I might be on NBC soon. That I've heard of from one of my program managers, and now ever since then, I've pretty much build the legacy. Like I've proven to everyone that if you want to do something great in life, rather if you have a disability or not, I say just go for it. And that's pretty much the reason the weekend donated to Best Buddies, because of my performance and not letting my disability define everyone. So ever since the Super Bowl, I feel like a lot's happened for me. More opportunities with Best Buddies, and pretty much doing what I do every day, advocate for everyone.
My turn? Very good, Josh. That's cool. So, Josh and I are actually from the same chapter. Go Bulls. My name is Kellie, aka Kellie Boo. A lot of my friends call me. I've been in Best Buddies for 14 plus years. Never had it in middle school nor high school. I actually had to go back to high school another year. When you're in the special ed program, you're allowed to do that till you're 22 to find out about Best Buddies. So my journey started off kind of slow, but once I got involved, all these opportunities started to arose for me. I was the shy one. I was the one that didn't want to speak up for myself at different events or to even go shopping, which I love to do now. But I wasn't able to order my own food because I would get made fun of from my speech impediment. But not to think years later that I would become a global ambassador sharing my journey now after all those years of being bullied, harassed about my voice, not being able to fit in. I've been involved in every leadership pillar for Best Buddies. I was on our international board. I'm on our advisory board now. I was on our walk and gala committee and our young leaders council as well back in the day. And I got to travel with Anthony Kenny Shriver himself on the two different cruises. I got to go to all the bike race challenges in California, Boston, and in Miami. And I hate flying, but I'll do anything for Best Buddies because how much it has helped me grow as a leader. And like Josh said, I kind of help all the new buddies that come in get their foot through the door and kind of be more outspoken because Best Buddies has done that for me and has even gotten me a part-time job with a company called K-Force, and I get to work from home. And I'm the first job participant in Tampa, Florida as well. And I'm a social media specialist, and I get to make cool graphics for the company, and our company partners with Best Buddies. So all my coworkers are on our walk committee, and they help so much with all of our things that we need for Tampa in general. So it's been a remarkable journey, killing all the leadership pillars. I don't know what's left for me except for to go to the citizens program and the jobs program. So Josh said earlier, Josh and I are both aging out of the college chapter, but we do not let that stop us. I think we're just going to get bigger and better as we go along. Maybe help some of the college students become better leaders next. Who knows? But it's been a real pleasure being a part of Best Buddies and all it has to offer. And I don't know if I would have, I'm not sure where I would be without Best Buddies, because how shy and where I come from. Like, I was that person that wouldn't speak up for myself, wouldn't go anywhere unless I had someone with me. Now I talk to people all the time, just tell them about Best Buddies any chance I get. Like, I am at the vaccine place today talking about Best Buddies, and they asked about my shirt. So, and just a full circle how going back to school another year really helped me become who I am today. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to get to meet you guys this evening and to be a part of Best Buddies and to have a social life. Because before Best Buddies as well, I never got to like go to birthday parties or go to concerts or even go clubbing with my buddy. She took me to my first club experience. It was way over my head, like not a fan, but it was just fun experience what other 20-year-olds at the time were all experiencing. It's all about experiences and having a purpose in life. And I think that's what Best Buddies really puts in perspective, not for people with just IDD, but also for the peer buddies as well. So I want to thank all of you as well, the peer buddies, for taking your time and volunteering. This is a not easy job for you guys either. You're going to school, you're going to work, and then you have to deal with buddies and parents and all these different activities. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of this wonderful organization as well. And thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I think we're all just super excited that we have the privilege of welcoming you guys for tonight's event. It's just wonderful hearing from both of you, and I'm sure a bunch of our members have questions. So if anyone wants to ask a question, feel free to either put it in the chat or like use the raise hand feature, and then we'll spotlight your video and allow you to ask the question. So yeah, we can open it up to questions now.
Also, Kellie put her Instagram and TikTok in the chat. So if everybody wants to follow her, Josh, I don't know if you want to put yours in too.
I'm sure Josh is doing the same right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, major congrats, Josh, for the Spirit of Courage Award.
Thank you. Something I wasn't really expecting to happen for me. I'll say that.
I forgot to mention I won that too in 2016. So we have 3 people from Tampa who have won, and that's very rare for one state to win. That many of us have won that award, so it's pretty cool.
We have like VIPs among us. Okay. All right.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a good award. It's fun how they present it because they don't tell you, but all the staff knows. I'm wondering why everybody's being so nice. Well, everyone's always nice and Best Buddies, but it's just crazy to think that, oh, this is happening. Wow. And then all these opportunities start happening once you win that award. It just seems like they can start knocking, as they say.
So if anyone has a question, you can just raise your hand. Oh, Mindy did. Okay, cool.
Hello. I was just wondering, would you be able to tell us maybe like your favorite like memory from Best Buddies, like during your time there? I know it'd be hard because you've been a part of it for so long, but maybe just one story of like a time where you'll never forget.
Okay, I have so
You can
many.
both go.
Okay, I'll go first. So I have so many fun events I've done throughout Best Buddies, but I'll say my favorite one through the years was the Friendship Walk back in 2018. Kelly and I were actually escorts for this greatest internet sensation called the Backpack Kid, the guy who's famous for flossing and all that, floss and dance. So we was hanging out with him for about a whole day, the day before our annual friendship walk. So our staff members really hooked us up with, you know, a really great celebrity to come to our walk because he's a really big supporter of Best Buddies. So before he came, a lot of people, I used to just do the floss and dance for fun. And a lot of people really think I was really a master at it because I really could do it. Like I did it without practice. Like I just did it on my own just for fun. Like I even one of the staff members from TV even mentioned we actually have an ambassador who can actually do the dance. So I remember the day of the walk, I actually did the dance with the Backpack Kid, and we really killed it. I know. So a lot of people say I did so good. It's almost like they mentioned to me like I outdid the Backpack Kid because of with my dance. Like even his mom acknowledged me too. Not saying that I outdid him, but that I did the dance with his son.
You did.
But I feel like that was the greatest moment in Best Buddies.
I'll have to find that video. I'd love to see it.
Sure thing.
And then mine, I have two, but I'll go with one as well. Like I said, 2014 was my year, kind of like Johnson's business year. So 2014 through 2016, I was doing everything that you could possibly think of. And I was the first participant from Tampa to speak at the leadership conference. I just remember only 5 participants get picked, and 2 from Florida that year got picked. And we were at our each state had like a pizza party before the ending ceremony, and I just remember them whisking me away, and I'm like, I didn't even get freshened up. I look a hot mess, you know. When you're walking on a big campus, you get, you know, grossed out from being so sweaty. All I know is, can I get a lipstick or something? Because they're like, you're going to speak at the ending ceremony. And I've never spoken to a big audience before. Like, I've done like locally stuff, but not internationally. And then that's when all my opportunities started to come when I was on the international board and the YLC. So it just kind of like a snowball effect. And I just remember being, I think I was 19 at the time. So it's been a hot minute. I was a youngin' and just not knowing where to even start off and how to even present such a wide group of people. But my video is still up on YouTube as well. It's called 2014 BBLC Kellie Howard. And you'll see how far back it was.
Wow, now I have 2 videos to look for. I'm excited. I'll look for them tonight. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question, but I can't figure out how to use this hand feature, so add my spotlight. Hi. Oh no. Oh, hi. Okay. My question is, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what your relationship has been with buddies, whether they be current buddies or your past buddies, like what that has looked like for you.
I guess I'll start. Yeah. Thank you. So we get one every year, but this one particular, what he knows, I talk about her all the time. I brag about her nonstop. I was matched with her in 2014, and we do not let age separate us. We have a big age gap. It's crazy, but it's funny. Although I get a new buddy every year, I still like gravitate towards her all the time because we do so much outside of Best Buddy. One particular time, she came to a family function, and I kid you not, her, my mom, and I all came out the room dressing the same, not even on purpose. We all had burgundy tops on, and our age gap was crazy. My mom's like in her 60s, I'm in my 20s, and this young lady's like in her 19s. So we all came out wearing the same. That's how like intertwined we are, and she gets along with my family. They give her Christmas presents and birthday presents, and she's just a sweetheart. She's actually done Best Buddy since middle school. She was the chapter president in her middle school, high school, and college. So she's been doing it for a minute, and I'm so blessed to have her in my life. Although we're both busy, we still kind of touch base. And she's the one I was telling you about that. She took me to my first club experience, and I was like, never again. That's not my cup of tea, but it was fun to get out and be with people my age. So he gave me a lot of friends, like even working out too. So he's cool people.
Okay, I gotta go with mine. For me, yeah, I've all throughout the years, I've had really good peer buddies. Like, I don't have a favorite or nothing, but I have a really special best friend I've known since elementary school. I feel like he's the longest friend I've known since the year 2003. His name is Jared, by the way. He's not no peer buddy or nothing, but he's someone else who has a disability like me. He actually has autism, but with my high functioning autism and with his autism along with it, I didn't really let it, I didn't really discriminate or nothing. Like, I just thought of him as someone else, like someone else who was just wanting to do something great. So throughout the years, we've really become really close. We're now in our 20s. We went to the same elementary school, middle school, different high schools, but throughout the years, we've really gotten closer. Like, we've kept the same number since we were just kids. Before we had our own phones, we used to just have a lot of play dates, like go to the movies, like do other fun adventures and etc. I still friends with him until this day because we're like brothers because we do a lot together. And I'm just thankful that he's really came a long way having his own job, becoming more of a leader in best buddies and in the community as well. So for that, I'm just thankful to have known someone who's made it this far without letting his autism define him.
Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing that with me. We have another question, so I'm gonna hop off.
Can I chime in and ask a question, if that's okay? Thank you so much for joining us, by the way. It's been so amazing to hear from both of you. So thank you for talking and answering our questions. But yeah, so I have another one. I was wondering I think Joshua touched on this a little earlier, but what would be one piece of your advice for anyone joining the Best Buddies program, at any stage and in any role in the Best Buddies program?
Just talk to anybody and everybody that you can. That's basically what I did. When I first came in, I had no clue about Best Buddies. I never knew what the logo looked like. I had no idea what the mission was, but I just went around and introduced myself to, even if you're still shy, that's a great way, a great networking tool. Is just go up to people, socialize, get more involved as much as possible, and then you'll see how far you'll go. 'Cause like I said, when I started, I didn't even know how to speak up or do networking, and now I'm making business cards for other buddies, and I'm the recruitment chair for our chapter. So, from where I started as a buddy director, and now working for the company that Best Buddies helped me find because they know that I'm good with social media. It's just really putting yourself out there. That's what I'm trying to get across. And I love your earrings, by the way.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
What I do, I remember when I first joined Best Buddies in middle school, I didn't know what Best Buddies was at all. I didn't know that it was international. I didn't know it was in other states and countries. I just originally thought it was only located at my middle school. So after finding out that it was international when I entered high school, it's what really gave me a huge surprise. I was excited too at the same time because I thought maybe after you leave high school or that school that you have Best Buddies, I thought maybe you could have just joined Best Buddies no more. But then I realized there was more opportunities to join Best Buddies, rather if you're joining a college chapter or any other chapters, rather if you from elementary through high school, college, and even adulthood, because there's no age limit at all in Best Buddies. Like, you can join until you're older, really older. So what I do to get people to feel what I do to recruit people, I just mentioned the mission of Best Buddies, where it was established, who the founder was, and how many countries and states it's located in. And along with mentioning the mission of Best Buddies itself. So that's what really gives people surprise and want to join. It shows that they really care about the mission, and it's just not joining to just to join, just to have a club, just to join and be cool.
Thank you both.
Hey guys. I was just wondering, so with the pandemic and with all the changes that we've seen as a result of that, especially with Best Buddies programming in particular, what have you found to be like the best strategies to like maintain contact with your buddies, or just in general, maintaining contact with people throughout the organization?
Though we couldn't see each other in person because of the whole pandemic, what we did was, that's why I started to get used to Zoom. Like, we used to have a lot of Zoom meetings, like not just with my peer buddy, but with our chapter as well. We would have like Zoom meetings every Monday of each month. And then when it comes to my peer buddy, we would just, either go live with each other on Instagram or just chat with each other on FaceTime, just cause we was bored and wanted to check up on each other, and planning some future events for whenever this pandemic winds down.
Sorry for my, I still have a house phone, believe it or not. But for me, I created this little group called Kellie Booth Leaders of Tomorrow, and it's a group of all the ambassadors, and we check up on each other, do a wellness check, since a lot of us were falling off like flies, like having mental breakdowns. So I created this wonderful group, and we kind of check in on each other. And then once a month, I do a Zoom hangout with them. So each month, I kind of create our event based on what month it is. So this month, I made mini pizzas on my Instagram live for everybody to view, and it was quite fun. And I usually do like cookies and cakes and kind of gain weight, I guess. But it's been a really treat to see everybody come together, not just for leadership conference, because I feel like that's the only time we can all see each other as a group, but just getting to know more people outside of the Best Buddies. And my actual Tampa group, my dad, he's been our Uber driver for the past 4 months. He's been taking us every Wednesday to go around Tampa and do outdoor social distancing. So we have a couple like cafeterias called Armature Works in Tampa and Spartman Wharf, and we've been hanging out once a month out and about as a group. So my dad is the ultimate Uber driver, going all across Tampa, picking up the whole crew. And of course, we're all social distancing and wearing a mask. But really, just the Instagram Live, I think, really has got people to be more entertained. And Josh and I were like, ask buddies questions, like how you guys are asking us, like, what is Best Buddies mean to you? What's your favorite event? And they really get involved. Some of them ask you, like, add me in, add me in. So it's really good for engagement as well.
That's amazing. I think it's really incredible that you've sort of been able to maintain the sense of community and promote that despite, all the challenges and hardship that's going on right now. So that's awesome. If anyone else has a question, feel free to, oh, there we go.
Yeah, I have a bunch, but another question that I have is, if you could say or share with us one goal or one big dream that you guys have, other than everything you've already accomplished, like what would that be? What's next for you, iconic duo?
Go ahead.
Mine will be quick. Mine is still, however, I do have a part-time job, but I was a paid internship 2019, and still to work for Best Buddies. And I would know everything there is to know about Best Buddies. My head is full of knowledge about what inclusion and what the mission stands for behind the scenes. So that is still my major goal, to get to that point at some point. I even have a Best Buddies tattoo. So it's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. For me, two goals throughout Best Buddies. First goal is to be on an international board of directors with Anthony Kennedy Shriver himself. I feel like I'm ready for it because I pretty much know the whole mission of best buddies. I know all the pillars, and I'm like I really got his attention with the Super Bowl as well. So he recently gave me recognition of being in the Super Bowl halftime show with the Weeknd. And my other goal in the near future, when I get a little older, is to as well be employed with Best Buddies International.
That's pretty awesome, guys. Good luck. I think you'll get there.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
If anybody has a question that they don't want to be spotlighted, you can also just pop it in the chat and then one of us can read it if that's easier. Okay, well, I'm going to ask another one, but this is directed to Josh. I have looked at some of your footage. So I saw that the Weeknd reposted your story. What was it like? Like, did you actually get to interact with the Weeknd? Not so much.
So I remember my second week of rehearsal at Raymond James Stadium where the Super Bowl was at. I feel like it was really great meeting the Weeknd in person the whole 5 days of rehearsal. I felt like we was having a live free concert because he was doing his performance, practicing his dancing and singing on the stage while us the dancers were just watching him and we're on break eating our snacks and all that. Since like I mentioned, our rehearsal was like 8 hours long. So unfortunately we couldn't do no flash photography or anything like that due to COVID, and not to mention he had a lot of bodyguards around him. But he really enjoyed this. I remember he came to us congratulating all of us. But for me, I'm just happy that he reposted me and gave me a shout out. So shout out to the Weeknd.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. We have a question in the chat from Abby, and Abby asks, it sounds like you both have done some amazing work as leaders. What's one thing you've learned about leadership along the way?
Go ahead, Kellie.
Oh, dealing with personality. Good Lord. You got to deal with a lot of different folks in different places. But overall, learning about leadership has really built my confidence. I think that's where I've always been kind of I'm a Leo, so we like to take charge. So being involved in like getting stuff done is my specialty. Like when I do our events or recruitment, I'm planning like a week in advance. So it really helped me be on top of things like that. So if that makes sense.
So the stuff I've learned from Best Buddies, the main one was pretty much breaking out of your cell and gaining leadership skills to become sociable. It's really taught me to really network with everyone very well. Um, really developed to have my elevator speeches, like when I'm introducing myself and mentioning where I'm from. Like I don't really um go too long. Like I just say what I need to say with people and just move on and hope that I get their attention. Like like with Best Buddies, it really teaches us how to pretty much communicate with everyone. Like when it comes to networking or just having a conversation with anyone in general, it's really made me more sociable because I used to be very shy. Like I was shy from middle school and high school. Though I was involved with Best Buddies, I was still really shy. I was just young. I guess when I got older and got into the college chapter, that's when I pretty much broke out of my shell.
Those are some great answers. Thank you. We have another question in the chat from Caroline, and Caroline asks, also Abby says, thank you so much for sharing. It's great for us to hear what skills we could use as leaders too. Awesome, that's great. Yeah, but Caroline asks, what has been the best or your favorite event your chapters have put on in the past few years? Great question.
Oh, being involved with PICAP, our fraternity here on campus. We did a lot of events with them. One time we had an ice cream social at their house and got to know them on a better level, where now some of the alums, they still donate to Best Buddies after they graduate. And my other favorite one, because that's the one that USF puts on, but the Tampa one, I really like our prom, because I was never able to go to my prom because my class is kind of mean people to be around. So being able to get glammed up and dressed up for a prom with your close 100,000 friends from Best Weddings is my favorite event. And I love getting dressed up.
Mine's I love the ball as well. I like picking out my favorite outfits to wear for the ball each year when it comes to the different theme and all that. And also with my other favorite event we've done with USF is the most favorite event of all time in the month of March, which is Spread the Word for Inclusion. I love Spread the Word because we're actually making a pledge to eliminating the R word, which I'm not going to say because it's just hurtful, but you guys know what the R word is, and changing it to the new R word, respect. I feel like that's the most important and most favorite thing to do with Best Buddies USF every spring, every month of March, because I feel like we should make a pledge like this every day, even without that day. Oh, by the way, hey Caroline, I miss you.
I completely agree with that sentiment, Josh. I mean, our club is also trying to spread. You know, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar, but it used to be spread the word to end the word, and now it's, you know, molded into spread the word inclusion, and that's definitely something that our club has been striving to promote, not just like to our members, but to like the greater Tufts community as well. So yeah, we have some more questions. Does anyone want to raise their hand? Oh, perfect, Katie.
Hi, sorry. Thank you guys so much for coming too. Going off of that, like Chris said, we have been doing like spread the word inclusion stuff, and I just wanted to know a little bit more about that, and if you have any like recommendations for what our chapter could do to spread the word inclusion even farther.
I got you. That's usually what I host every year. I'm the brains of the operation. But spreading inclusion, you can definitely do it online. They actually have a whole website, so people can't come in person. They can make their great pledge online and just ask them to wear like the color blue for that day if you're doing it on one day or a week. So for that, our mission color is blue. And then if you're doing it on campus, I would suggest to have a table if you're allowed to. I know COVID's a little different nowadays, but definitely doing like a whole, like, get your buddies out there and have them talk about why the R word's hurtful. Maybe do like, I remember one group, he's on the YLC actually, they did a whole like music video, Stump the R word, it's so cute. And he went viral and they played it at leadership conference in the past. And maybe going live on Instagram and get awareness out always helps, because everybody's on social media nowadays. Oh, one last thing. Definitely utilize your TikTok. That is where all the young people are. I see a lot of young people with Down syndrome making their own content and going viral just by showing that they are just like you guys and like to make, you know, great dance moves and be young and vibrant. So utilize whatever platform that's popular at the time for the word campaign will help too.
I was just looking at Caroline's question. Do you have any batch party idea that you would more? I remember this is one thing I'll say. That's what kind of me and Kelly actually thinks too. Like when it comes to match parties, I would say definitely match that peer buddy with a buddy who has something in common, but not like match with someone who they barely know. Like pretty much matching a buddy and a peer buddy together who just randomly, just cause. Like you should I feel like you should definitely speak with the president and do like a summary and talk about what why you want to be matched with that person. Write down what stuff they have in common or whatever, and then the president should just match it. Should just add it all together, and then the day of the match party, that's when they can just announce their favorite things are to do in common, and that's when they just mention the names, and that's how I feel like that would be a good match party.
We did one year. We did like a mix and mingle before a match party where peer buddies and buddies can get to know each other on a personal level and maybe find out if they are wanting to be matched with. Even though you have an online survey, sometimes you can't really know who you want. Almost like, I know I'm very big on Greek life. It's almost like when people meet their big and little, like they kind of do like these events where they get to meet their big or little, and that's kind of what we do in our chapter. And sometimes you meet people that were wanting to be involved but got too much on their plate and didn't really want to stick around if you pair them randomly. If you pair them because they want it by choice, I feel like the relationships grow a little bit easier and it's not so much force. And then what we tell our peer buddies mainly is you want to hang out with your buddy just as much as you hang out with your regular friends. So you don't want to just brush them off aside if you get overwhelmed. I commend this one peer buddy. He used to be our president. He intertwined best buddies with his personal life. He was on the leadership, like the student leaders, like he was for the new freshmen around. He got us to all meet his coworkers, his friends, and go to soccer with him, and we just felt so included. It was just so much fun. And then as the president, also what he did, for each buddy, based on their personality, although they're not an officer, he gave them a task to do so they don't feel like they're bored or left out. So I always brag about him. He's graduated like 2014, and I'm always talking about him to this day for so much that he's trying to intertwine all of us together. So think about it like that.
Yes, hi. That's a really awesome answer. Sorry, I was just caught off guard. But yeah, no, I've loved this whole event. Like, you guys are so amazing to listen to. I just love it. And I know we talked a little bit about spread the word inclusion. So I was just wondering, like, what does inclusion mean to you, and what would like an inclusive world look like? Like, what would we have to do that?
Inclusion for me, personally, definitely having everyone with any type of special ability have their voices heard more. Like when it comes to maybe school, when it comes to a job, I feel like, or just across every community in general, I feel like they should have their voices more heard. They should have their voices heard more. Like when it comes to speaking up for themselves, and doesn't always have to have, help. I honestly feel like some of the buddies who are, right, if they're high functioning or not, to feel more independent for themselves.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so what does inclusion look like to you, and like what would an inclusive world look like?
I get this one a lot. I like that question because I love best buddies and near and dear to my heart. But sometimes I feel like being a person who doesn't look the part, say like Josh and I feel like we get, although we've done a lot for best buddies because we work hard at it, I feel like we have to work harder than others to be where we are. And I think sometimes people kind of miss that part. Like when I went to the airport to ask for special assistance because I have a hard time with memorization, like I get lost in the airport, period. And I was trying to ask for help, and they were just like, "Oh no, you don't need help. You don't look like you have a disability," like stuff like that. You don't ever want to assume that they're capable just because they don't look the part. I mean, we may need a little more help, but we still can do stuff on our own. We just need a little more guidance sometimes, if that makes sense. So being included and for people who don't look the part, making sure they feel comfortable just as much as someone with Down syndrome feels comfortable with.
Yeah, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, you guys. We have another question. And then depending on how long that goes, we might have time for one more, but we might not. So let me spotlight. Okay, well, I don't know where my spotlight button went. So if somebody wants to.
I don't think we can spotlight you, Juanita, just because your video is not on, but please go ahead.
Hi, Kellie and Joshua. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for speaking with us. You guys are just examples of Black excellence, just out there doing the thing, and I'm just so happy to have been able to hear from you guys. My question would just be to hear what it's been like being on TikTok. I feel like I just have never made a TikTok video before. I feel like it's a lot, interacting with such a large audience. So I just want to hear your experiences and whether you feel like you've been able to connect with viewers via the comments or DMs or anything like that.
Oh my goodness, I love TikTok. With TikTok, I feel like I actually got into TikTok in the beginning of quarantine, like when I was bored in the house. That's if any of y'all heard that song, bored in the house bored. But anyways, with TikTok, that's what really became a new hobby for me, the beginning of quarantine. I didn't really find out about it until I heard about it from Kellie. I mean, she was using TikTok before the whole pandemic. I just didn't start using it until like the beginning of probably March or April of last year. So ever since I got attached to TikTok, thanks to Kellie, that's when I became more active on it. And I started gaining attention on TikTok and getting more followers and views, because all I do on TikTok is promote Best Buddies and just dance.
Yeah, so going off of the TikTok comment, yeah, TikTok is a great platform. You have to be kind of careful because no age limit. Everybody and their brother is on there nowadays. So you get a lot of inappropriate comments, a lot of rudeness, but you just kind of ignore them because there's nobody anyway. But you also get a lot of praise, and it's really great to like constant spread and mention of Best Buddies on TikTok. And that's what we've been doing a lot lately since the pandemic. I remember, I think it was like the first walk virtually 2019. Our founder did like a whole TikTok challenge to trying to get people to do the virtual walk and to get people to donate. So that was a lot of fun getting that involved. And I'm part of another group called Hello Port Wine Stain. I have a birthmark, and a lot of my community with a birthmark are on TikTok, educating people that when we haven't been abused, we haven't been hit, this is just who we are and what we're born with. So now I don't even wear makeup for Zoom calls. I think that's why I feel like TikTok helps a lot of people in different ways. And Best Buddies, being more confident with your own skin. And girl, I love your hair, and they have a lot of good hair tutorials on TikTok. And fashion, that's my favorite specialty as well, and new music. So if you want to learn anything, I feel like it's basically like a mini YouTube in your hand. You learn so much on TikTok, and how to cook. So if you can't cook, go on TikTok.
Yeah, I love challenges on TikTok as well.
Yeah, it's very educational and funny. I'm on there till 3 a.m. sometimes. It's a hot mess.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you all so much for coming to this event. Big thank you to Josh and Kellie for all that you've shared with us. I mean, it's just been incredible to listen to both of you and everything you've had to say. We really appreciate you guys coming out here and representing Best Buddies on Zoom. And we're excited to continue to hear about the incredible work y'all are doing as global ambassadors. So
yeah,
don't forget to follow us. Yeah,
already did.
Oh, yeah. All right.
We'll put your handles in in our email, in our weekly email, so that all of our members will have access to that.
Oh goodness, thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us. We really Josh and I have been talking about this for like weeks. Like, what are you wearing? What time? So we've been very excited and eager to meet all of you. And I just hope your chapter grows from here. I know the school year is ending, but in the fall, come out with a bang and just go hard for inclusion and for all the buddies and their families, because we love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.